Hi everybody, welcome to Nan and Ann's Simple Suppers and Food Ideas. We are just starting this website to introduce people to the joy of eating well and eating simply. We don't use recipes, we don't measure, we do not like to mess with any of that stuff, but we make very tasty food, right?
Absolutely. And we actually served this at our retreat this last weekend, and we had so many people ask for the recipes, we decided this would be our first attempt.
Yes, that we would just demonstrate how it's done. So, the meal that we're going to prepare today is, we call it Proached. This is a word we came up with when we were making it last week. It's roasted and poached at the same time. So, the oven is preheated. This is a salmon. I've just a simple salmon fillet that I have rinsed, washed, and I've cut it into, I don't know, can you get that? I've cut it into pieces. Any size is fine, but roughly the same size so they cook evenly. We've preheated our oven to 425, and we're just going to start. This is so easy. Again, no measuring. I'm just going to pour a little white wine in here. That's the poaching part of the roast of the poaching. And, not much, half a cup. Just feel it, whatever feels right. And then I'm going to actually get a lemon. I do need a knife.
Excuse me.
Slice it in half and use half a lemon squeezed over the top. Now I do like to add my liquids first so that when all the yummy spices go on, which are very simple, they don't get washed off by the fluids. So that's just a handy tip to know. So I like to use the sieve or strainer to use when I squeeze lemon, because all the seeds get caught in the strainer and the juice flows right through, easy peasy. Okay, thank you, Nan. So we've got a little wine, a little lemon juice. Now I'm just going to take some olive oil and really just kind of feel it, just drizzle it on. You don't need a whole lot because it's a high good fat fish full of great yummy omega-3s that are good for your brain and your body. So drizzle that on just to add a little flavor. Then we're going to take some garlic, minced garlic. I like a generous amount, but you can do this to your taste and whatever works for you. So I sprinkle the garlic on, and if I'm really in the mood to get messy, I might massage it into the fish a little bit. A happy fish is a tasty fish. And there's a little bit of shallot. Again, just sprinkle it on. And it's so much fun to use these little prep bowls. I do highly recommend getting everything in place before you do this, because you don't want to have to be going and washing your hands and stopping and starting. It just wastes a lot of time. So, some shallot and then some capers. This adds a little zip, and you can rinse these in your strainer, and that just knocks a little bit of extra sodium off. It's not a big deal if you don't, but it's always nice to, especially if you're going to be feeding people that do have issues with needing to keep their sodium level low. You want to rinse the capers well. And then I'm going to sprinkle, actually I'm going to wait till it comes out of the oven and sprinkle a little dill on top. We're going to pop this in the oven for about 15 minutes. I do. How about a spoon? And we'll sprinkle a little
Sea salt.
a little bit. That's all right. Don't use that much at home. Maybe it's better if I put it in
your hand.
Here we go. Thank you. So the second part of this meal, we'll pop this in the oven, is a quinoa dish. And Nan is going to show us how to do this. And she can make quinoa taste like heaven on earth. So I'll pop it in the oven and turn it over to you.
Okay, so why don't we pull our ingredients over here a little bit so we can see. This is the kind of box that the quinoa comes in, and I like to use red and white, both. So I don't know if you can see what it looks like, but that's it right there.
I can take the one away.
Okay.
It's middle of the afternoon. We don't need that.
So I've already prepared the quinoa. It's been cooked in 2 cups of water with just a little bit of salt. And so you can just kind of fluff it up a little bit, like this. Then we add some cranberries, or these are actually Bing cherries. You can add either one. I just happened to run out of cranberries, so use the cherries. And some apricots, about 1/4 cup of apricots, just chopped up nicely. Put those in. We have a little bit of green onion, yum, just to give it a little bit of spice, taste, and some delicious 2 ripe avocados.
You know what
Yum.
I love about this meal is it's full of foods that are immune boosting and have antioxidant properties, so you just get more bang for your nutritious buck here.
It is delicious. This is just wonderful. And then we're going to make a salad dressing to go on the top. And I have squeezed the juice of 1 lemon right here. And I have some lemon zest. And it's really fun to just use your zester, this little grater thing. I'm covering up my
And if you don't
demonstration.
have a zester,
It
you
doesn't
can
matter.
use any
You can-
kind of fine grating
Right,
tool.
any kind of fine
But
grater.
zester's
But
all
this
particularly
is
fine.
great. And you just do a little bit at a time so that it doesn't get down too far. You don't want to get the bitter part beneath the skin. And so the zest and the juice from 1 lemon, right there. And then we add a little cumin, a little coriander, yum, different spices, a little bit of paprika, just for zip, and about 3 tablespoons of EVOO, as Rachel Ray says, or extra virgin olive oil. Delicious. And then you can take a whisk and just whisk it all together. Then we'll want to add a little bit of salt and pepper, and I just a tad of salt like that.
You do that much better than I do.
I'm not afraid to put my fingers in it. And a little bit of pepper. Yum.
And it's so much fun to do that. We're just having a blast doing this. You should have fun when you cook. It makes your food taste better. The food can tell. It knows.
The whisk really helps. I really like to recommend using a whisk for your salad dressing. It makes it get a little bit of thickness to it so that it really holds on. I think I'm going to put this salad
Oh, what a pretty dish.
in one of these bowls. And we'll try to get a little bit of everything in it. And then we'll dress it. And it's ready to go.
And I love that you chose a dish with some intention, because we talk a lot about your food should look good. 50% of our brain is devoted to the process of vision, just visual processing alone. And part of being mindful when we eat is you should celebrate and enjoy the food and make it pretty. You're feeding yourself, you're feeding your family, you're feeding your friends. That's worth going the extra step
Right.
for. It's
Even
an
if
extra step that pays off a mile.
Even if it's just for your family. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's just for
and
you.
You want to celebrate. That's what meals are. Every time we sit down together or by yourself, it's a celebration. So here it is. Easy peasy quinoa salad.
Beautiful.
Yum.
That's gorgeous. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do the easiest dark green leafy salad in the world. This is so easy.
I forgot the almonds.
Okay.
You're also supposed to add some almonds, so I'm going to sprinkle those on real quickly. If you forget something, just add it.
Just add it in.
No big deal.
Mix it up. All right. Where's my handy dandy favorite little strainer? I dumped it somewhere. Here it is. Give it a rinse. Okay. So we grow our greens when we can, and when we can't, we buy a good mixture. And I like to get the organic greens because I do believe the flavor is better. And there's one brand that makes the organic greens with the herbs already mixed in. But that doesn't really matter. You can mix them in yourself, and that's what I'm going to do today. So
Oh, let's
that's
make
okay.
the
I'm just going to
quinoa.
move this out of the way. You got a good shot, Heather? Okay. So this is super, super easy. You can make it in under 2 minutes as I beat the clock. Okay. My hands are clean. The lettuce is clean. We've washed it and dried it. I like a salad spinner to get those leaves green, especially when I've got a lot of greens that I've picked from my garden and I need to process them. I have to wash them and really dry them well so that they don't decompose in the refrigerator before we get around to eating them.
You get all the sand off of them, too.
So, I have chopped up herbs to add into. I like to add herbs to my salad because it really gives it an extra dimension and an extra pop of flavor. So I've got some basil, and you don't have to chop it finely, just rip it up. Some basil, a little bit of cilantro, and a little bit of dill, because I'll be using the dill in the salmon as well, so they'll complement. So I just dump that in there and mix it all up. And then for color, because I like to think about color when I make my meals, I wanted a little yellow to go with the pink of the salmon and the colors in the quinoa. So a pop of color in the yellow. Red onion. You don't need a lot of red onion. I have made this mistake. Just need about, I don't know, a quarter of a red onion. Sliced thinly. Again, it's pretty. It gives a lot of what I like to call zippity-doo-dah to the flavor. Gives it some punch, and that's great. You don't want to overpower it though, so I'm not going to use all of that. And then, I've already put a little dill in that. I'm going to save that for the salmon. A little feta cheese, another big flavor booster. You can make shoe leather taste better with feta cheese. You can buy it crumbled up. It's what could be easier. So, really about as much as you feel like. Then I put, again, I don't know, twice around the bowl. It's maybe a tablespoon and a half, maybe, not even, not much. Take a lemon. Squeeze it right on. So I'm not making any kind of separate dressing. It's all getting dumped in the bowl. It's all done. And I have had a lot of people eat the salad, and I've had a lot of people tell me how much they love it. So that, and a little salt and pepper. I'm going to face my demons with salt and pepper again. See if I can do it better this time. Oh. Just sprinkle it on. Give those greens a little flavor. Now when I'm in my kitchen, I fling the salt over my shoulder. But I love my friend Nandy. She might not appreciate that, so I'll behave. I'm in someone else's kitchen. My kitchen can get wild. Okay. And a little pepper. Some flinging in the sink. And then I just toss it. If you want to add a little protein, I do have some chopped pecans, and I've just taken them. I don't know if you can get this, Heather, or not, or I can just bring it. Just take them and toast them right on the oven. It doesn't take but about 90 seconds, just till you smell them. And then and I do this first. The reason I'm not showing you live is because I don't want them going into the lettuce too hot. It'll wilt it. So these have been toasted and cooled off for a while. Sprinkle them on, and again, it's a handful, whatever your taste is. And pecans are huge, huge superfood. They're great for our bodies and our brains. And you mix it up, and voila, you have a salad. And I'm going to add a little more cheese because I just sense that it needs it. And again, that's really the thing with cooking. It's just kind of following your intuition about what you like and what you're looking for. I like a lot of zip and a lot of zest in my food, so lemon and olive oil and feta cheese goes on everything. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, so while we have been putting together the quinoa dish and the green salad, the salmon has been cooking, and it doesn't need to cook for very long. It depends on your oven, but about 15 or 20 minutes, and the size of the fish. So you just kind of test it to see if it's firm enough, which I have done. So we think that we deem this fish cooked. So out it comes, and we're going to let it rest for just a minute on the countertop. It's always a good idea when you're cooking fish or chicken or any kind of meat, protein, to let it rest for a few minutes and just kind of gather itself before you serve it up. And the dill, the fresh dill that I had, I'm going to sprinkle that on. Again, it doesn't matter how much. Just take it.
And I love dill, so.
It doesn't. It's, again, the herbs are just, they're good for you, and they just add another dimension of just a pop of flavor. I guess if Emerald says bam, I can say pop.
You can say pop. And we've been cooking this, and we are so hungry because it smells so delicious.
I had a big meeting this morning, and so I haven't eaten since breakfast, and it is lunchtime. So, this is the salmon. Giving it a minute or so to rest, and we're going to serve ourselves
This
a little
delicious lunch. A little bit of this yummy salad.
And quinoa quinoa, what's so nice about quinoa, it's such a versatile grain. It's an ancient grain. It is, can you smell for that? A protein, a complete protein. And it's safe for people to eat who have celiac or gluten intolerant. And by the way, I probably didn't mention it because
Right.
it's second nature to me. My daughter and I are gluten intolerant, and so our whole house is gluten free. And this is a gluten free meal. And it's not as difficult as you might think. So we're just going to get this piece of fish. Look at that. Oh gosh, if you could smell this room. Wow. That's just beautiful.
And now this is a feast.
And
So,
this is the way to eat lunch. I'm going back to work after
don't
this.
hesitate to try this at home. Delicious.
Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back next week with some more simple suppers.
Bye.
Bye.